Hello and welcome to another episode of the Just Talking About Films podcast, where it's just me and Luke just talking about films. My name is Ian Sargentson.
And my name is Luke Taylor. Of course, it doesn't have to be just us talking about films. We want you to get involved in the conversation too. You can get in touch with us on Twitter, you can get in touch with us on Facebook, and you can get in touch with us and come on the show, and we'd love to talk to you about films. So if you want to come on, if you want to get involved, you don't have to have a great knowledge of film. You just have to enjoy talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy talking to Luke and us talking about films, but it's always, I feel, a bit better to get another insight and another voice in the conversation. So if you enjoy talking about films and you enjoy listening to us, then just come on. You can help us talk about an area of film interesting you, a particular film, series of films, character, or an aspect of film you want to talk about. We'd be happy to get involved in that. So just let us know, and we would love to have you on.
Yeah, would be great. And as we start every week, you would also join us with talking about what have you seen this week. So Ian, what have you seen this week?
Well, it's been a bit hectic because we've had a 4-day weekend and with celebrations, and was busy at church. So I haven't watched loads this week, but since the last time we met, I've watched 4 films, and they've all been rewatches. You know, when you just want to watch something that you know you like and it's not a risk. And so there was 3 of those, and then there was one that I think I remember I liked it, but I remembered it was long, and I don't think I ever fully appreciated it as a piece of cinema until this week, really. So the first film I watched over the last week is Stand By Me. Now, Stand By Me is one of my favourite films, and it was one that I've been wanting to watch again for a while, because I like to space out my viewings of it. But I know that once I watch it, it's going to be a while before I watch it again, because, you know, I mean, even though you know what's going to happen, you just don't want it to be so frequent. But yeah,
you want to keep it special. Yeah,
and I love it. I think it's one of these films that I enjoy more or appreciate more on each viewing. Just the way it's shot, the whole story, the sense of adventure, the fact that it's something I think you can only fully appreciate if you place yourself in that age and that time, because it's about a group of friends that go on an adventure. That the adventure is fairly straightforward, although it's a big deal, but it seems bigger when you're that age and it's shared, and your friends at that age, the dynamic's different too. And the film touches on it any other time in your life with your friendships. So friendships still stay strong, but at that time, there's something, I think, almost magical about friendships at that age. And then the sadness that them friendships don't always last lifetimes. So yeah, so I absolutely loved it. Funny, poignant, moving, you know what I mean, entertaining. Yeah, I just really, really appreciate it.
Made a lot of stars, that film, as well, didn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was. Yeah, there's. I mean, the cast, most of them, apart from, unfortunately, the tragic River Phoenix, went on to have fairly good careers.
Yeah. Is it based on a Stephen King book, that film?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever read the book, but
no, I haven't, and I always thought I wanted to, but I just like the film too much. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, it's just a good story, and then to say the end is quite moving. It's one of the films that I always remember the end of thinking, and it just hits me with a smash of nostalgia, because then it causes me to think about my own childhood and my own friends, and I still have a lot of friends from my childhood, but there's some that drift away, or people, what happened to them, and so on.
Did you first see it when you were a child?
Yeah, I think so, and I didn't appreciate it on that level. I just liked, the bit where Vern with his comb and he gets stuck on the train tracks, and there's that sense of adventure and funniness, and telling the stories about the pie eating competition and getting chased by the dogs. So there was something at that level, the same way that I liked The Sandlot. Whereas watching it as it get older through the years, it just really speaks into that friendship, particularly with him and Chris. Because it's narrated by Billy Crystal, is it?
No.
Is it not? It's narrated by someone, I can't remember his name. And then, it's just like, friendship, and how, them days where you'd spend days with your friends on your bikes going out somewhere, going on a big adventure. Like, we used to walk from Billingham, where Luke is now, and I live there. We'd walk along the train tracks to Seaton. And it was just an adventure and it'd take all day. I mean, we never went searching for dead bodies, but we'd go to the arcades really because we'd get, I don't know, £5. And rather than spend on a train ticket, we'd walk and use all our money in the arcades. Or we'd see if we could get on the train without paying. So because there's only one stop, the ticket collectors come and we go. So it was just them long days of adventure. So yeah, it just reminds me of that. So yeah, I love it. And it's beautifully shot. There's some great cinematography in it, wide lens shots and different things. So
yeah, good film.
And then I watched King Kong. As I say, I remember the black and white films of King Kong, and I like it.
Oh, so which one did you watch?
Is it Peter Jackson? Is it?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I like the concepts of King Kong because it was all been something like King Kong and Sinbad and all these things that used to be on frequently. And I remember watching this King Kong previously and think it's just long and not a lot happens. But that was back in the days when I just wanted to be entertained continually. I wanted explosions and, people being shot and revenge and fairly simplistic, instant gratification. Whereas I appreciate it now for the dialogue, the story, the context. And it still is a bit long, but I didn't mind.
It's very long.
Yeah, but I didn't mind the length of it. I wasn't bored. I was just aware that it was long, especially in today and age where maybe our attention spans are slightly different because of smartphones and this, that, and the other. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. I liked the dynamic. I thought the acting was good. I thought the storytelling was really good. So
I remember watching it with some family when it first came out on DVD. Yeah, I think it probably came out around Christmas time because it was a Christmas, you gather around and watch something at Christmas. And an unnamed family member who hadn't seen it before, about an hour in, is like, "Where's the monkey? I want the monkey." I'll never forget that. I was like, "Yeah, it's fair. We are an hour into it, and there's no monkey here."
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a tragic film as well. It's quite sad.
It is. I prefer the original. I prefer the black and white version.
Yeah, maybe. But there's plenty of themes that you draw for it that are relevant to society today. I think it's quite sad, really. So, yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was good. I watched it over 2 nights.
Yeah, you'd have to.
That wasn't the run time, but I watched it over 2 nights.
When we get to me, there's a film that took me 2 nights to watch it.
And then I went again, I think it was fueled by Stand By Me. I went full on retro. So I then went so I watched King Kong first, actually. Then I went to Stand By Me. And then I went to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
No, I haven't. So I just went all retro. And again, loved it.
Does it stand up?
Yeah, it's a bit dated in terms of its themes. And I look at it now and go, he's a bit of a pain, isn't he, Ferris? But, he used to be my hero because he wagged off school, he lied, he got the girl and all this. Whereas now I'm going, yeah, he's a bit of a scamp.
You find yourself on the teacher's side now.
Yeah, Bueller. Yeah, not so. It's still fun and it's still good, but I still love it. It's just now I'm going, he's a bit irritating, or he can be. A bit spoiled, but as a film, it's good entertaining. Yeah, some of the themes, maybe not so good, but it speaks of friendship. It's just exciting, isn't it? He's just a kid who takes a day off school and then lands on his feet. A bit like, I guess Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell was kind of based on him. I think, right. Just as very similar. Always lands on his feet, always. But again, yeah, it's just an iconic film, isn't it? With good soundtrack as well. Or that, that theme that you recognise from the film.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. I can't remember the last time I saw it now. Yeah.
And when he's running through the gardens, and then the Ferrari where they put it in reverse to try and get the mileometer down. That's
always the bit that sticks in my mind the most.
Yeah. But he's horrible to his friend, He's like. Oh. And then from there, I watched Breakfast Club. Again,
you went proper retro.
Yeah, I did. It was just like, yeah, did that. I think Stand By Me kicked it all off, and it was like, proper nostalgia fest. But yeah, Breakfast Club again. I mean, it's well documented, the themes in it and the social commentary. And again, I think every time I've watched it, probably less so this time because I'm more ready for it. It frustrates me for the first hour and a bit, and then it all just pulls it together at the end. You know what I mean? That they've all the differences, yet they're united by the shared experience and how they experience it. They bond slowly, whereas initially they're just all irritating in their own unique way. But yeah, so just a few classics there with that I like to go back to sometimes, or watch films I haven't seen for a while, because as I say, I've said it a few times, you see it with different eyes now. As you mature, as you grow older, as the way you watch films changes, your view on the world changes. So it helps. But now I recognise it. It's like when my dad used to watch films and be like, "Oh, Sinbad, oh, this is great. You know, I'm so old, Dad." That Victor's going to say the same to me. And what, Ferris Bueller? It must be like 80 something. So yeah. So that's me. There's things I watch. I will try and watch some films that I haven't watched this week, just so I've got some new films to talk about rather than just watching the old films. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed my little trip down memory lane.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's once you start as well, it's hard to stop, isn't it?
Well, that was it. I was looking at other ones. I was like, oh, Ghostbusters and then Back to the Future and maybe some others I haven't seen for a while because I've seen the Goonies lately, but some others, yeah. So I had to stop myself there. Really.
Well, for me, it's all rewatches this week as well. But although I haven't gone quite so old school as you.
Okay.
Although I suppose I have one of them. One of them took me 2 nights to get through, and that was the Batman became available on streaming. So
yeah, I did.
Gave a second look at the Batman, and really, really enjoyed it again. Didn't fade for me on the second one. In fact, I enjoyed it more this second time.
So did you buy it or did you rent it?
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah, it's the second time I enjoyed it much. I think because you know where it's going a little bit. I mean, there's the nice thing with the surprise in the first one, but second time watching it and you know the shape of it. It's and you're spotting things earlier as well. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Again, excellent performance by Robert Pattinson. He's very good in it. Really, yeah. Second one was better.
I'm looking forward to watching it again, but I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I think it's available on Blu-ray now. I think.
Yeah, I think
usually comes out at the same time, doesn't it? Then I, in my James Bond rewatches, I've got up to Goldfinger.
Okay.
Which for me, watching them through, like this is the first one that feels like everything you expect a James Bond film to be. It's got the opening sequence that you expect with the theme tune over. It's got all of the staples in there. It's got the ridiculously named characters in it. But what did surprise me is James Bond doesn't do much in it.
No.
Essentially, he gets sent on a mission to spy on this guy. This guy clicks pretty early on that he's a spy, gets captured, gets taken along to Fort Knox, manages to convince one of Goldfinger's lieutenants to change sides, and that's the only thing that wins the day. It's just like,
sometimes it's the simplest thing.
It is. It's really simple. But I enjoyed it. It's got all of the stuff you recognise from Bond, and I enjoyed it. But I was astonished again how simple the action was, how simple the villains were, and how complicated the new Bonds are in comparison. And it was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
And then I've been rewatching the Jurassic Park films in preparation for the new one coming out.
Oh yeah, we're talking about this off air. Then.
Yeah.
Really not excited at all by this new one because they've just seemed to have gone off downhill.
Yeah, I mean, I did Jurassic Park 3, and it's got to be going some to be worse than that. That's got to be the very... well, no, maybe not. It's certainly a low point.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of them things where Jurassic Park, for me, is iconic. It's classic. It's a cinematic experience that up there with some of the best I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of all fell short.
Yeah, even The Lost World, which was Spielberg again, didn't have that same level of awe that you had and that same level of this is you are watching a big film here. You know, that sense of occasion about it.
And you got that you're watching a big film, and you're watching also that, oh, that's a great idea. That could, endless possibilities. It's like, out of all the possibilities you could choose that would be great, you've managed to avoid them all and choose this.
Yeah. So Jurassic Park, it felt like a TV movie at times. I mean, it was just, and a film automatically loses 20% of my interests the second Tia Leone's in it. So that didn't help. I spent the whole film going and thinking, I'm sure they had casting sessions. I'm sure they tried other people out. How did she get the job?
If you are watching Tia, then I'm very sorry for Luke's Hughes.
Just every film that she's in, I just think I can't believe out of all the people the auditions. Anyway, never mind. So yeah, watch that, and I get the end of that. The action on that film is so disappointing as well. It's not good. And then from that we did Jurassic World, which was the first of the new ones.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a film that's trying very hard to be good.
Yeah, it is.
But it's just missing. And I realize it's trying to say something in that, because it's got this whole thing where nobody's excited to see a dinosaur anymore. They've become blasé about it. But that kind of makes you feel the same in the film, I think. You're not excited anymore when you're watching it. It doesn't treat it with that sort of like, ooh,
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's sold out a bit. So the thing about Jurassic Park, the original, was that the sense of danger was because of these dinosaurs. Right? And you get it. You get that they there's a sense of danger because they're predators, apex predators. Then now at the new ones, it was like, oh, we'll make them super intelligent, and because then we can have more chase scenes and there can be more things. And it's just like, no, it was the same with Jaws, the subsequent Jaws films. It just was and it's just like, you've lost the thing. Dinosaurs are scary anyway. Not all of them, but you know what I mean? They're all big, but the predators are carnivores. It's like, you don't need to add anything to it for it to be that sense of danger, but they tried to, and then it's just like, this new one is like, they're chasing him while he's on a motorbike. Anyway.
I mean, I like the idea of the quest, because you've got to keep raising the stakes to keep it exciting. So I understand the idea of going, okay, the theme park's open now. Instead of 5 people in danger, there's 20,000 people in danger. I like the idea of raising the stakes to that level. Unfortunately, the people who follow them don't seem that interesting. And don't really gel that much as so you're not really rooting for them quite in the same way. Then with the one afterwards, which I haven't really watched, but I remember that brings it down to like, it's all a lot of it's in a house, isn't it? And an auction. And I really don't like that one. The idea of them being free in the world and a threat to humanity in general sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I really hope it lives up to the idea. But the trailers haven't been great.
No, there's too many jokes and quips in there for me as well, I think. So, but we'll see. I have to give it a watch. Don't want to write it off. And that's one of the problems with trailers. That
it is. I'm looking forward to talking about it afterwards, especially if I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then last night, watched Knives Out.
Okay, I didn't mind that. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's in once the mystery's gone of who did it, it loses a little something. But at the same time, it's a good fun film, and you can admire its cleverness as you watch it. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's Daniel Craig's performance in that is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
everyone's having fun. I think that, and I think that's infectious a little bit.
Yeah, I remember it was something different, and I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned now they're planning sequels to it, that it's going to lose its edge a bit. But I hope not. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, so that's what we've been watching. We've not watched anything new between us. So let us know what you've been watching. If you've watched any of them films, what you think of those films, the rewatches that Luke and I have watched the last couple of weeks. If you've rewatched any of them recently and what you think of them, it'd be great to hear what you think. Or if you want to come on and talk about one or anything else that you've rewatched.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love to hear from you. Now we're going to go to our next section today, which this week we are doing our gut reactions again.
Yeah, I've got 6 more gut reactions because I left them somewhere last week, didn't I?
I'm very unprepared for what we're about to experience. And,
well,
and so you don't know
them
this time either, do you?
Yeah, I haven't looked at them, but it's so you never know what people have written. So I have to read it quickly and then read it out to you just to make sure it's appropriate. So it's like proper editing. I mean, they should be fine because I know who's written, who I've asked to write them. So, but you never know how people's minds work, especially if they know that you're not reading it beforehand. So here's the first one. Here's John. So John asks, what is the most surprising ending to a movie?
That's a good question.
Yeah. For me, there's 2 that spring to mind. I don't know which one I would choose. There's one that I was really like,
yeah.
And then one that I was like really disappointed. So I'll just say both of them. The one that I was like, was The Usual Suspects. So I thought it was just very clever, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And the one that I was a bit frustrated with and surprised with was No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay. Because
I was like, you can't end it like that. There has to be more. I was furious.
But that's what they wanted you to feel.
Yeah, no, and I loved it, but then I was furious, and I was saying to Kev, I'm never watching another one of their films ever again. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, good. It's a good ending, that. I think it's very clever.
But there's the 2 surprising ones for me.
The one that came to mind immediately for me was Fight Club.
Yeah.
So that's my gut reaction one, is Fight Club, which I just had not clicked it up, not at all when I was watching it. I hadn't sussed, and it was just one of those moments where I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And I think it was I like Fight Club as a film, and that ending, really, really took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think I had that with Usual Suspects, and I almost wanted to applaud, in the cinema.
Yeah. And a film that I really like, not just the twist, but the way it ends, is Prisoners.
Yeah.
Because it has the twist, which maybe you can see coming, but the note it ends on and the question mark it leaves you with is just brilliant. Brilliant. I'm not going to say what it is in case you haven't seen it, anyone watching, but the end of that film, I think, it just leaves you coming out of the cinema going, very good end.
Yes, so there's a few of ours. So what if you're watching this or listening? What is the most surprising end to a film that you've seen?
Yeah.
Let us know. We'd love to know. Tweet us, text us, shout at us, write us a letter. But just let us know what's the most surprising ending to a movie for you. All right, next one, gut reaction. This is from Fiona. If you could be friends with a film character, who would it be?
Oh, man.
If you could be friends with a film... Gut reaction for me is Marty McFly. Or probably Doc, just because he owns the car. But yeah, Marty McFly, I'd want to be friends with Marty, I think. I don't know why, it was a gut reaction. Just came out, so yeah.
Yeah, for me, it'll be 2 people, it'll be a couple. And that's Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams as characters from Game Night. They just seem like a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah. Thinking about it now, it'd probably be someone with superpowers, but my gut reaction was Marty McFly.
Hey, Martin, although he'd be an old guy now.
Yeah, but we could go back to the past. You go back to the past and just make things right. Or change them.
Yeah.
All the Goonies, I'd like to be friends with the Goonies. Say what?
You've got to be friends with Doc in that case as well.
Yeah, naturally. So yeah, Marty McFly was my gut reaction, but it's one of them things when we do these, I then think about it more and more.
Yeah, and then
I'm like,
it's it's that first one, isn't it? That's got to be the one you go with. I'm sure I'll think of a better answer later, but straight away it was like with the couple from Game Night, I said I could hang out with those guys all day.
Yeah.
Unless I'm the sort of person that they don't invite to Game Night.
Yeah. Because now I'm thinking, Superman.
Well, yeah, it'd be handy. Although you'd be in danger all the time if you was friend. I mean, it's no life.
See, we go deep. We go deep. So, who would you, if you could choose if you had a friend, if you could choose a film character to be your friend, who would it be? And let us know your gut reaction, not one where you've thought about it for 20 minutes, but who came to mind straight away?
Yeah, that's important. You've got to answer straight away because you could think about it and come up with a much better answer, but it's that initial gut reaction.
Yeah, like Samwise Gamgee. He's a good friend, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a top friend. Yeah, you go to the ends of the earth with you, he would.
Exactly, yeah. Right, next one. From Louise. The greatest film soundtrack.
Oh, dear me.
So I had two, but I'm going to go with the one that I thought first. So the second, I thought Baby Driver, but the first one that came to my mind was The Bodyguard.
Okay.
So I just think it's a phenomenal soundtrack, and I think it was all original, wasn't it, for the film?
You always love that soundtrack.
Yeah. No, but a lot of them, I think Whitney Houston did a credible soundtrack there. Some good songs that I Will Always Love You, the way she, took the Dolly Parton hit, transformed it to such an iconic, powerful song. But all the way through it, because it's like one of these things where you're playing a singer, and I think she gives credit to it because A, she is a singer, and B, the songs are decent enough. Yeah, but then it was Baby Driver and Sing Street have come to my mind since, but I'll go with The Bodyguard because that was my gut reaction.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. My gut reaction was E.T.
Mm.
I think the music in that film is amazing, absolutely amazing, and the way it builds towards the theme at the end, and that crescendo when E.T. takes off. I think it's. I remember the DVD version that I had of that. You could listen to it. You could watch the film and listen to a live performance of the soundtrack, and it was so good, so good. I wonder if that's still on. I wonder if I still got that DVD. I could do that again. But I think E.T. I think is probably the greatest in my mind. But my favourite, Baby Driver, is a good one. But whenever I'm in a bad mood and I just want cheering up, I'll put the Chef soundtrack on, and it just makes me smile every time.
Yeah, there's some good ones, isn't there? The Chef's good.
Oh,
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1.
Little Shop of Horrors. Love the soundtrack to that. Love all the songs to that.
Clueless has got a great soundtrack. I think it's got the Beastie Boys, Coolio, Supergrass.
That's good. Yeah, there's some great ones out there. But my initial one was E.T., so I'll stick with it.
Mine was The Bodyguard. So.
It couldn't be more
Whitney. Right. Chris, what is the best film about an animal?
Babe.
Yeah, Babe. That'll do, pig. Baram you. So Luke went with Babe. I thought of The Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Although it's not really about an animal, it's about a man cub.
True. There's a lot of
but there's animals in it. Yeah, so that's why I came with The Jungle Book. Oh,
wow, that's the quickest I've ever done a gut reaction there.
Yeah.
I want to watch Babe again now.
Yeah, Babe is an underrated film.
I love the chapter headings with the little mice.
Yeah. But I just love, I say it all the time, that'll do, pig. I always say it.
Oh, I want to watch Babe now. That might be in my viewings next week.
Right, let's have a look. Next, this is an either or. Woody or Buzz? Woody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody for me.
Yeah. I'm not that keen on Buzz.
I grew on him, and I think he meant to, but yeah, I'm loyal to Woody. The OG, any?
Yeah.
He's the original, so he's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's, he does a lot of things that he regrets, but he learns.
yeah. So I think that's unanimous. I think Woody.
And he's the real star of Toy Story. At the end of Toy Story, what was it, 4? That was the newest one, wasn't it? And his story ends, Toy Story's over.
Yeah, true enough. You got a friend in me. Right. Last one for today. Gut reaction. Who is your second favourite actor? That's from Dave. Your second favourite actor.
Second favourite actor. Wow.
My second favourite actor is Leonardo DiCaprio, I believe.
Wow. That's a good choice. Good choice. My gut reaction was John Hamm.
Mine was DiCaprio, because I know Hanks is first.
Thanks.
It'd be DiCaprio or Gosling, but I'd go with DiCaprio. I think I did go with DiCaprio. So.
Yeah, John Hamm. Whenever I see him in a film, I go, "Why is he not in more films?"
I think it was clever that Dave asked us who's your second favourite actor.
I know. It kind of trips you up there. You go, "Well, hang on, who's my first?"
Yeah. So you think of your first, not them, the next one.
It causes you to stumble a little bit. That does.
Who's your second favourite? Yeah, DiCaprio. Oh, interesting. So that's our gut reactions. If you can answer them, who's your second favourite actor? And by, obviously, I shouldn't need to say this now, but by actor, we mean anyone who acts.
Yes, we don't mean just male.
Male or female, yeah. So yeah, who is your second favourite actor? Very good. So thanks for everyone who sent them in. I'll try and pick up some more this week on my adventures. It's a strange look. Can you just write me a question on this piece of paper? Anything about films? I do this film podcast. Can you? Some people just look puzzled, and some pieces of paper I gave to people were just left there blank. So I was like, okay. Either I didn't explain it right, or they just don't want to do it.
Okay, so now if you have a question you want to send to us, you can send it to us on Twitter. You can send it to us on Facebook. We will obviously see those ones before we go, but we'll try and forget.
Yeah, but if you send it to us on Twitter, we can react from our gut, and then we can just talk about it next week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so get in touch. Let us know if you've got any questions you want our gut reactions to. And let us know your gut reactions as well to the ones we've done. Yeah,
very good. So what have you got coming up, Luke, apart from Babe? Anything you got planned? Have you got any cinema trips planned? When are you going to see?
I'm hoping to do Jurassic...
Dominion, is it?
What is it? Jurassic World Dominion this weekend, I think. Yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to it. I hope it lives up to what I hope it's going to be, but I'm not. I don't think it's going to.
So that's fairly straightforward. I hope it lives up to what I hope it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to.
It could be a really good film if they get it right. I just don't think they're going to get it right. That's the problem. But I live in hope. Every film you will see, you live in hope. I'm about to start watching through the new Matrix film, which I missed at the cinema, and I'm hopeful. But I suspect I'm not going to like it.
Yeah. And we've got to watch 2 films for Film Club, haven't we? What we're watching?
Yeah, we've got a couple of weeks for that, I think, haven't we? We've got
but what are they?
Sorry?
Ratatouille,
and what's the other one?
Doesn't matter. I've written it down. So, but yeah, Ratatouille. So I've seen that once when it came out. But I haven't seen it since.
I love Ratatouille. Such a good film. That might be the best film about an animal.
Better than Babe?
It might be. It might be.
Oh, now I'm thinking of Lion King, but I said the Jungle Book. So.
Lion King too. See, that's the trouble when you move away from your gut reaction. You come up with
but that's what I like about it. That you don't have the time to think and consider it. It's another aspect of it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to being with you next time.
Yeah, so that's been Luke and I just talking about films.